Okay, round 2. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Doing a little test here. Okay, that should work. Okay, so let me know if you guys are hearing some music. Let me just refresh this. Something was bound to go wrong. Hearing it now, okay. Thank goodness. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Let me just, yeah. Just start the stream, I guess. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you see this notification. I had to kill the last stream, so I don't know if that was the right move. But we are going to showcase some music. This is to showcase December's challenge, which was to write the track for the new year, 2023. I'm just going to make sure I keep up with the comments here, make sure you guys are hearing it loud and clear. Awesome. Okay. Arco, Benjamin, welcome. So, yeah, first up is Andreas. Hopefully he was here. I know he had to leave early, so I'm just going to play his track right now so that he can hopefully... Well, actually, Andreas, I'll let you say hello in the comments. Just let me know you're here first, and then I'll play it. Okay, sweet. So, yeah, 2023, here we go. The idea here was just to write a track that's going to motivate you throughout the year. And we got 23 submissions to get through. And yeah, I'm just going to dive into it because there's so many. Let's see if Andreas is here yet. He's here. 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to play the track. Here we go. Enjoy. It's called Endlessly. Nice. Excellent. Excellent work. I'm so glad you were able to catch that before you got to head off. Thank you so much, Andreas, for that lovely submission. And that was called Endlessly. And big shout out to Andreas's YouTube channel. He's been putting himself out there on YouTube. And man, dude, I just I just pictured you having a ton of fun creating that track. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and just has good energy, man. And you sent me some notes. I should mention that to the members who submitted music, I sent out a little Google form asking, I think 4 questions. What's your biggest goal for this year? What's your biggest achievement of last year? How many libraries did you join throughout the last year? And how many tracks did you write? Not everyone got this form because a few of you guys sent me very last minute submissions. And I wasn't able to send it out to absolutely everybody because this morning has just been total chaos over here. But I want to say that Andreas's main goal for 2023 is 1 song or production per week, which is a great goal. Regular YouTube content upload and getting monetized. Excellent. Biggest achievement last year: joined the Academy. Sweet. Connecting with Eric Copeland. Started on YouTube. Those are all great, man. That's sweet. And an amount of songs he finished was 10. Excellent. Cool. I'm going to keep moving on. Let me just check the comments here, make sure everything's all good. Okay, I'm so glad this is working. I would have been devastated if it just crashed on me again. Okay, cool. Who's next? Tony B. Let's check this out. This one's called Action. Awesome. Love it. What an ending. That is just like the craziest crescendo towards the end there. That was great, Tony. Excellent work. Tony mentioned this is an update from the last track I submitted using some action strings. And it was quite repetitive, so I shortened it and reworked the beginning and the ending. Excellent. I think it sounds more cohesive now, and also had some fun with the Metro Arc and Devastator effects. Maybe too much with the effects, but I liked it. I don't think it was too much. I think it was fantastic. Yeah, I love when the strings kick in. Just a lot of intensity throughout the whole cue. Some very well placed transitions there too. And that was fantastic. Tony's main goal for 2023 is to complete at least one track per month. Awesome. And biggest achievement in 2022, just learning more about production. Thank you so much, Tony. That was great. Keep killing it. It's fantastic. Okay, next up is Jeff Bell. This track is called No Stop Signs. Let's give it a listen. Yeah, I like that ending chord. Nice work, Jeff. That was awesome, man. Jeff wrote, not my first cinematic track, but first using Ferrum. I've never used Ferrum. Started off with the bass guitar and tried to make everything else fit around that. Loaded the chords into scalar and used some accompaniment patterns on Addictive Keys Studio Grand. Added hybrid synth from Air and Originals Epic Strings from Spitfire to make it more cinematic. Yeah, I love the cinematic angle on it, man. That was really cool. Oh yeah, he also mentioned going to stick with this genre for a while and see if there's any traction on Pond 5. Cool. I'm wishing you the best with Pond 5. I hope it does well there. This is an awesome track, man. Well done. I like those descending rock chords. Whenever I hear like those descending guitar chords, I always think of that Green Day tune from Insomniac. What's it called? Brain Stew? A different rhythm. I don't know why it reminded me of that, but yeah, I love the swinging drums too. The rhythm was great. Synth pads and strings give it a real like cinematic rock vibe, which I thought was a really nice touch. Excellent, man. Thank you. Okay, next up, Gareth Camp. Let's check this track out. This is called In the Groove. Here we go. Yeah, dude, it's such a cool track. You know what this reminds me, or I feel like this would be really good for. You guys, let me know what you think. But like one of those scenes from like those Oceans movies, you know, like Ocean's 11, with like Brad Pitt and George Clooney and all that. Like one of those scenes where they're like walking through the casino and like planning how to like do some big heist. Like that's the kind of vibe this track gives me. It's really cool. Very, very cool groove. Number one main goal for Gareth for this year: get accepted by Artlist and try to be more productive. Biggest achievement from last year: getting accepted by Motion Array. Awesome. Yeah. And music libraries joined last year. Motion Array. Fantastic. Gareth said the inspiration for this track was mainly to write something that might be accepted and useful for Artlist. The VSTs used were Native Instruments Prime Bass, Native Instruments Electric Mint, and Easy Drummer. With just those three, you've got a solid foundation to make tons of tracks in the kind of style that I do. I think I used the picked acoustic, right? I heard the picked acoustic in there. Excellent. I really like how the guitars sound when they come in, like right here. They kind of gave me, like, it reminded me of that Dire Straits tune, like Money for Nothing. Love the tone there. It's awesome. Yeah, super vibey intro groove, big rockin' sound. Drums sound badass. Yeah, really nice work. It's fantastic. And yeah, you know what? I like the fact that you used very little in the way of like VSTs, like, and you just made it sound interesting. So that's awesome, dude. Thank you so much for submitting. Okay, next up, we got Julia Linishi. So I don't know if Julia's in the stream. If you are, say hello. Julia sent me a SoundCloud link that I couldn't download, but I noticed that she also posted this track up on her YouTube, and I extracted the audio from her YouTube video so that I could play it on this stream. I'm not sure if she got my message in time about sending me a link, but I think we got it all figured out. So I'm going to turn this up a little bit because it might be a bit on the quiet side. And yeah, this is a beautiful composition. Here we go. It's called Elegy in C major. Wow. Amazing work, Julia. Just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, the melodies and the counter melodies are all just so tasteful. Really, really beautiful scoring work. I'm seriously impressed, and I hope you write lots more music like that throughout this year. I'd love to hear more of that. I know that Julia is also a visual artist too, and has posted some of her work on the Academy, and I think that's her work on the YouTube channel as well. But really, like, amazing to be able to have both of those disciplines, locked down like you have. It's really, really impressive. I'm just reading through the comments here. Mariano says, I see fields and mountains with flowers, grass, butterflies while the credits of the movies show up. Totally. Yeah, it is really, really, really stunning. We are in the movie and the TV screen is Steven's window. Yeah, absolutely. Julia didn't send me much in the way of information, but she did say, I think in the info field, emotional orchestral composition for viola, flute, harp, and orchestra. I used sonokinetic orchestral strings, Spitfire, percussion, brass, and woodwinds, and harp libraries. Excellent. Thank you so much, Julia. That was great. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, next up, we have the one and only Alex B. This track is called Welcome Home. Let's check it out. Damn, dude. Alex B, the master of using those Logic sounds. Man, you're reaching like just new levels of production quality here, man. This is just a fantastic track. And Alex had a big year. You've been an inspiration to a lot of people in the Academy. You've been an inspiration to me. Just hearing your progress has been so much fun over the last year. And man, yeah, what a track! That's fantastic. Alex sent me some notes. Let me share it with you guys here. So, number one main goal for this year is to get accepted by Artlist and a sync library. Biggest achievement last year: joining the Academy, getting accepted on Motion Array, and reach the payout threshold every month since then. Nice. interview with myself, which was great. I know a lot of people really enjoyed that. Yeah, amount of songs finished last year, 55. Damn, dude, that's a lot. That's more than I did, I think. I don't know how many I finished. I think it was about 50. Fantastic. So Alex said, I know that many of us don't give ourselves the credit we deserve for our accomplishments, and we can easily get trapped by our imposter syndrome. So true. It happens to me a lot when it comes to my own music. To kick off this year in a very positive way and to celebrate my first small steps as a media composer, my inspiration for the December challenge was my own track, Nice to Be in Orbit, which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was your first track on Motion Array, or at least one of that was one of the tracks you used for the application initially. And I know that it did really well on Motion Array. I remember when that was when it was like a number one at one point, I think. So that's your bestseller on Motion Array. I decided to write something with a similar vibe as a way to have a happy start to the year and pay homage to Steve and the members of the Academy for all the support. Oh, dude, you're awesome. As always, all my sounds are Logic stock loops, one-shots and VSTs. I played the bass and the guitars myself and recorded them straight into my Focusrite Scarlett. Yeah, I mean, the guitar work is just so awesome. Like, these little tasty licks here, right before the spoken word part that said beautiful, I was thinking, like, that's beautiful. Where is it? Beautiful. I love it, man. Thanks so much, Alex. You're the best. Okay, let's check out Gary's track. Gary Burnett. This track is called A Medium Fi Romance. Awesome. Here we go. Yeah, nice. Thank you so much for sending that over, Gary. I think that was a really interesting mix of like synth sounds, kind of like lo-fi beats, I guess, those trap hats too, orchestral elements. Really like an eclectic mix of instrumentation, and I feel like the track kind of took me on a journey in a really nice way. It almost had like a gaming music sensibility to it. I don't know if you guys would agree with that. What do you think? But it had uplifting vibes, and sort of uplifting / emotional vibes to it, which I thought was great. So lovely track, man. Main goal for Gary for 2023 to finally get it. I think I know what you mean by that. I think you mean like get into like that like flow state. I feel you on that. Biggest achievement in of last year, finding out about production music. Welcome to the weird and wonderful world of production music. And I'm glad you found the Academy. Amount of songs finished last year, 20-ish, but still learning what finished is. Right on, man. Thanks so much. Let me just catch up with the comments here. Yeah, okay, so I'm not the only one who thought it had like a game vibe. Awesome. Gamey ambient, yeah. Sweet. Okay, moving on. Who's next? We got Catalan next. This track is called Feeling Good 80s Pop Edition. Let's check this out. Awesome. So awesome. Rocky Balboa running to the gym. Yes, totally. I was trying to like place what movie like this would work for, and that's a good call. Synthwave rock, man. That's so cool. And it's such a catchy tune. I love it. Thank you so much, Catalan. You sent me some notes here. Wanted this to be part of my motion, motion array submission, but I don't think it fits with what they are looking for. I would describe it as an 80s uplifting pop rock sounding, like a weird blend between Vangelis and a U2 stadium concert. He also said, I'm curious what Stevie B would name this track, and a couple of keywords, the first things that come to mind. Okay, I'll try to think of that. I use the MT Power drum kit 2 for drums. The bass line is made from the DS Thorn patch, a sequence cinematic bass and bass guitar. Keys and synths mainly come from the Kniphonium synth that I recently discovered. Effects and transitions are all splice with some Raum reverb on it. For mastering, I use the Techovation T Exciter and the BX limiter. I love this. Super catchy. Great mix too, man. Nice work. Love the tonal risers that you're using. Those really, really fit the track well. I'm assuming those probably, came from Splice. Very, very tasteful. Excellent synth work. This would have worked really, really well for the 80s scoring competition, come to think of it. I think Motion Array would be down for this track, to be honest. I'm not sure I would include it in an initial application to Motion Array, I guess, because, Synthwave isn't a huge part of their catalog. But I think, it's fair to say it doesn't really fit the majority of their catalog. But that being said, I think the track is really well produced, and I think you summed it up well with your own description. Vangelis pop. Name for the track. It'd have to be something like, you have to use some like 80s keywords in here. You guys help me out with the names. A name for Catalan here. What's an 80s like catchword? Radical. Call it radical sabbatical, or tubular tubular time zone. I don't know. It has to be something like silly, like that, to kind of grab people's attention. That's the kind of thing that I try to do on Motion Array. What's another 80s word? Gnarly? No, gnarly something. Freakazoid. Call it freakazoid. I only spent 8 years in the 80s. I'm a 90s guy. Keywords, I don't know, vintage, throwback, 80s, pop, synth, retro. List goes on. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to keep going here. Thanks again, Catalan. That was awesome. Looking forward to reading the comments here and seeing all the name suggestions. Okay, Nick at Sound Jam Studios. Let's see what's going on here. We got a track from Nick called Epic Revival. Here we go. Epic. Awesome. That was great, Nick. Nick sent me some notes. Oh, actually, I should mention before that. Goal for this year, to be more productive and organized, improve workflow. Same here, man. Last year's biggest achievement, completed 5 courses. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Sweet. This track was inspired by the inspiring orchestral trailer course at first, but it did change after watching the breaking down my latest orchestral trailer cue video. Oh, you're talking about my one of the breakdowns I had in the academy. That's cool. Also inspired by the failure of my laptop's DC power connector socket. It would no longer boot up. Okay, so the first act of Epic Revival represents life before the power failure. This is funny. The laptop was ticking along, albeit slowly. Second act, from 1 minute on, is when the DC power connector breaks. And third act, from 126, is about dealing with and overcoming this technical setback. I love these notes. It was repaired and also had an SSD upgrade. Shout out to James Carter for suggesting that. Nick says, thanks, James. It's so much faster now. I thought I may as well upgrade to Cubase 12 and Ableton Live 11 2, then reorganized and reinstalled everything. This took a while. Just didn't write much music for a bit. Everything's faster and better now, and we have a happy ending. VSTs used: Spitfire, Albion 1, Nucleus, East West, Devastator, Cerberus, Ava Eminence. I just downloaded Ava Eminence last month, and I'm enjoying it so far. Very cool little cheap trailer toy. Spitfire felt piano, more East-West stuff, Spitfire contemporary drama toolkit. Awesome, man. Yeah, nice work here, Nick. Like, I love the inspiration for the track, and the cue develops really nicely. Very cinematic, but also like some, dramatic percussive energy in there too. Frantic string staccatos, and yeah, an epic choir to kind of cap things off there. Very, very cool. Lovely work. Okay, next up, Rob, also known as Solar Score. We got a track here called Running Out of Time. That's what I felt like this morning. Okay, here we go. Yes. Dude. I love it. I love it, Rob. That was awesome, man. Oh, Synthwave gets me all fired up. It's been a while since I wrote any Synthwave myself, so that was great. That was inspirational to listen to. Mariano says, I love this genre. Yeah, same, man. Hey, Deepak's in the house. Welcome. Deepak's got some Synthwave for us a little bit later, I believe. Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. The studio view looks amazing. Yeah, it's pretty good up here. I'll give you guys the full tour on a different stream when I have more cameras set up and all that kind of fancy stuff. Could you show the timeline? Not sure what you mean. Like the track in terms of like time? Lotus Challenge. Checkpoint. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by all these comments. I'll come back to that in a second. Let me share with you some notes from Rob. This year's goal, to keep learning and improving and to join Motion Array. Excellent. Last year's biggest achievement, getting stock music sales. Fantastic, man. Amount of songs you finished last year. Not nearly enough. Okay. This is a track to define 2023. I chose an upbeat synthwave track as it represents a few of my 2023 goals to compose music that I enjoy making, that is currently on trend, and to improve my production skills. I made this after completing the Synthwave course. Really enjoyed it. Also, a big shout out to Cherry Audio. Their synths are amazing for the price, especially the Juno 106 and the Yamaha CS80 clones. I keep on hearing about Cherry Audio. I've never heard about them until just really recently, so maybe I'll go check that out. I definitely don't need any more synths, but yeah, a couple people mentioned Cherry Audio as of late. Yeah. One thing I really want to point out in this track, which I love the most, is just this really short, sweet intro, and then just getting right into the point. I love this. That's the way a great royalty-free track intro should sound. Just get right to the point. It's fantastic. It's got that Stranger Things vibe, just to kind of pull you in and waste no time getting into the nitty gritty. So great work there, Rob. Okay. Who's next? We got Kevin Pike. This is a track called Top Down. Let's check it out. Love it. Super vibey. Great work, Kevin. Yeah, really smooth track. Love the chord progression and the vocal chops. I liked how you used the strings, the string line there. All very, very tasteful. Simple and effective melodies. That's what I like to hear, man. Yeah, lo-fi production value. That was fantastic. Kevin mentioned that the inspiration would be the Production Music Academy Lo-Fi Hip Hop course. Used Omnisphere for keys and strings, stock Pro Tools MIDI grand piano, vinyl and sketch cassette 2 for lo-fi effects, filter freak sound toys, contact complete control, drum loop, and shaker. Nice work. Main goal for this year is to get accepted by Motion Array, then go to Artlist. Biggest achievement in last year, joining the Academy, has been very motivational for me. I'm learning new genres and how to do them at a high level. That's great to hear, man. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, and amount of songs finished last year, 30. Not bad. Anything above I'm hoping to get every year I start and I'm going to write 100 tracks this year, but man, it is hard to finish. It's hard to finish a lot of tracks. 50 plus is an achievement. Anything between 30 and 50 is usually what I end up doing. We'll see how this year goes. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thanks again, Kevin. Next up, we got Mariano, also known as in the comments here as Liberectro Music. This track is pretty spectacular. Check this one out. Here we go. It's called Battle of Two. Straight fire. Just straight fire, Mariano. I love it. I love you guys. Your comments here are just so awesome. Hitting the club at 11 a.m. Vancouver time. Man, that brought me back to being like 16, just like hitting the dance floor. Dude, I love it so much. Let me give you guys some context here from Mariano. So this is designed to be part of a driving video games music pack, which it literally would be perfect for, just gotta say. It is not appropriate for regular stock background licensing purposes on most marketplaces. Fair enough. But it might be a better fit for an action video game. It uses samples that can be found easily on DAWs or Splice. As synths, we have Spire and Silent One. Everything else is Ableton Live stock plugins, with the exception of Endless Smile from Data Life. Yes, I got that one too. I love it. I was wondering whether you were using that when I first heard this track. I was like, yeah. I won't go into Google Endless Smile if you haven't heard about it. It's fun little plugin. I guess this type of regular mainstream EDM production is what will have a predominant place in my production during 2023. Even though it's registered with Content ID, I've already whitelisted the PMA channel for all my present and future music. Thanks for doing that. That's awesome. I don't monetize these streams, so even if music is registered with Content ID and I get flagged, it's all good. But I appreciate that. Mariano's goal for 2023, enjoy the process. I'm so glad you said that, man, because isn't that the most important thing? Just to enjoy what you're doing? Absolutely. Biggest achievement last year, realizing that it'll take me way longer than I thought to reach my goal of getting my music income to the level of expenses of my music production. Yeah, that's the goal, isn't it? To spend less on plugins and software and hardware and balance that out with income and make a net positive profit. Music libraries I joined in 2022, Stock or Sync, Unity Assets Store. Awesome, man. I'm so glad that you're getting into the game music thing, man. That's really great to hear. Game Dev Market as well. Join that. Itch.io. I don't know much about itch.io. I'll have to check that out. Amount of songs finished, 30. Nice work. Yeah, I mean, this is just like huge energy the whole way through. So awesome. I mean, you could definitely like hear this in a driving game, like 110%. Yeah. And you know, the mix, by the way, and the mix and the huge buildups, like they're all really, really tasteful and it is very well produced. Kind of has like, you know, sort of a 90s techno vibe or trance vibe to it, I guess. But really, really tastefully done, and sounds very modern too. It reminds me a bit of this Canadian producer. His name's Mastercraft. I don't know if there's any Canucks in the house here, but yeah, Mastercraft kind of wrote it wasn't trance music, but it was like kind of like really just fast paced, like sort of techno, and I absolutely loved it. He was really big in the 2010s. Kind of reminded me of that in a really good way. Dude, thank you so much for submitting that. That was fantastic. Next up, Brendan Burns. We got a track here called Exploration. Let's give this a listen. Here we go. Wow. Honestly, man, just absolutely beautiful. Listen to the diversity of music that we have in this stream here today. I'm excited at all the different styles and genres that people are tackling here. Brendan, man, pure vibes here, man. Like so great to hear your progress. And I've had the pleasure of like listening to several of Brendan's tracks over the last year, and I really mean it when I say that. Like I can hear your confidence growing in your mixes and your production skills in general. Your musicianship really it comes through on this track here. It's really shining through, and it's just beautiful. It's a very beautiful sentimental composition. The guitar work, the horns, just fantastic, man. It's really great. Brendan's number one main goal for this year: to keep it going, generate more work, income, clients, contacts, etc. Absolutely. Biggest achievement last year, whatever my last song was. Mixing has been a huge part of my 2022, and every tune I finished was just a little bit better than the previous one. I still have a ways to go, but I'm very happy with the progress I made this past year. Great to hear it. Music libraries, I joined two new libraries last year. Amount of songs I finished last year, 42. And 32 of those 42 tracks were signed. That's great, man. That's awesome news. I'm so happy for you. Brendan says that this piece encapsulates the feelings that I have for 2023. It's a relaxed waltz with space for rumination. The beginning is loose and dark. As time progresses, new colors come forward and ideas start to develop. At first, there is a sense of separation between the different voices, but as they build, they coalesce and then quickly resolve, but with space for more. Horns are from, I asked Brendan about the horns when I heard this last night, and he said they're from Mojo 2. Which I'm not familiar with, and I have to check that out. So make a little mental note to do that, because those horns sound fantastic. This is pretty much how I'm feeling about 2023, says Brendan. It's winter now and quite dark most of the time. There's lots of uncertainty, but it's important to simplify, keep moving forward, keep the pace, keep building. With time, things will open up, develop, and provide opportunities, and then we'll see what happens. Dude, thank you so much for sharing that. That's so nice. Okay, next up, we have Ninian Valenta, also known as Frodo. Is Frodo in the house today? I have to check back on these comments. I'm not sure if he's here, but big shout out to Frodo. This is a track called The Foreshadowing. Here we go. So good. I love it. Trailer hip hop vibes, man. You got me super inspired to write something similar to that. That's fantastic. Mariano says the detective hired by my wife is following me in the shadows. That's funny. Yeah, so good. So good. What's happening here? Sorry. Frodo sent me some notes. Main goal for 2023: write some music every day and stay consistent. Hell yeah. Biggest achievement last year: getting accepted by Motion Array and a smaller sync library. Very cool. Amount of songs to finish: 30. Fantastic. Okay, so from Frodo, here is my trailer for 2023. I haven't written a lot in that genre before, but it's something I want to dig deeper into this year. I also want to build up my portfolio on Motion Array with many hip-hop tracks, so I thought it would be a nice idea to make a hip-hop trailer hybrid for this challenge. Nice. Let me know if you'd like to know... Oh, this is something else. Never mind. Looking forward to hearing what everyone came up with. Yeah, I mean... You nailed it, man. This is great. I love the tension. And yeah, the really solid mix too. Mixing, trailer sensibilities with like hip hop is definitely on my to-do list this year. So great to hear this from you, man. And you got me inspired. So well done. Thank you, Ninian, also known as Frodo. Deepak, you're up. Okay, we got a track from Deepak. This is called Kryptonite. Here we go. Enjoy. Dude, yes. Dark, edgy, hard synthwave, man. I love it. I love it. That's what, it gets me fired up, man. That's fantastic. You know what? Deepak sent me some tracks, like, I want to say, like, 3 months ago-ish. And, dude, what you just sent me is such a huge improvement from what I first what you first sent me over. I'm stunned. Like, I'm really blown away by the progress that you're making. I know that you're working super hard on your production skills, and it's really showing here. And I'm so stoked to kick off this new year with this new track of yours, man. Like, really, really well done. Big improvements. The details, like, you're putting some extra attention into those details, and it has a good solid bounce to it, man. It's fantastic. I'm hearing some like I think you would agree. It was it had that kind of like Gesaffelstein. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. French DJ producer dude, Gesaffelstein. Probably not pronouncing that right. But dude who works with the Weeknd. And I know that you sent me one of his tracks and mentioned it was an influence in some of your work initially, and I definitely hearing that kind of vibe in this track, which is great. You also mentioned this is a dark synthwave track, type track for which the Arturia V bundle is used with a lot of splice. Nice work, man. Big shout out to Deepak. Thanks for sharing. Okay, next up, we got Mr. Johnny G. This is a track called Power Play 23. So good. Johnny, killing it, man. Quintessential sync music vibes here, man. It's just really fantastic production. Tight, funky, lovely mix. Man, this is so good. So Johnny mentioned, inspired by the list of most successful songs in Artlist in 2022 and the challenge to create something that defines the new year, I decided to do a high-powered funky trailer thing. It's my first time trying this type of genre, but it's definitely a lot of fun. First time? Sounds pretty polished for the first time trying to tackle something like that. That's pretty good, man. The bass is a combination of patterns from Native Instruments' prime bass. The funky guitar and horns are chopped samples from Splice, and the breakbeat is from an old sample CD collection. Really? Yeah, you still got CDs kicking around? I don't even have a CD player anymore. Those are hard to find. Yeah, man. I mean, it's so funny because like the latest Artlist Originals project that I got is for like the theme is like bass. It's like funky bass. So I got to write music. I got to write 3 tracks very similar to this. And you really inspired me to get started on that project. Man, yeah, super funky, man. I love it. Thanks for sharing, dude. Next up, Randy Lindquist. This is a track called Shimmering Future. Let's check it out. Nice. Awesome track, Randy. I think this is the first time I've featured Randy's music on a live stream. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, great to feature this track, man. And Randy sent me some notes here. He said mostly used Native Instruments Ignition keys for keys and pads, new pop drums that came with Machine, also a synth bass from Cherry Audio, the GX80, and a smattering of things from Splice. Just getting started with music production and mainly interested to see if the mix/mastering sounds up to snuff. You know, it's always like, I'm always impressed when people tell me that they're just starting out with like, with production music, you know, and then they send me these like, you know, these really nice tracks. I mean, you guys should hear my first attempt at production music. Actually, I should feature that sometime. That would make for a funny YouTube video. Actually, I probably won't because it'd be too embarrassing. Yeah, not a bad mix at all, man. It's great, Randy. I mean, and a really catchy hook too. If I had any mix advice, I would say like maybe the hi-hats felt like a little bit bright and pinchy. There's a lot of synth information. Something could be maybe stripped back a little bit, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure where I would place the track stylistically, like, or genre-wise. Maybe like chill, futuristic pop or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? How would you guys define the genre exactly there? I mean, it's definitely got really cool, chill / like, mellow, uplifting vibes. I don't know how to define the emotion of that, but it felt good to listen to. So I think you're on the right track. Thanks so much for sharing, Randy. I'm excited to see what people come up with in the comments. I'm not good at like defining genres sometimes. So maybe we can get some help there. Okay, next up is John Marr. This is a track called Got My Groove Back. Here we go. damn, what a slick production, dude. John, your mixing skills are on point, man. You know what I love about this track the most is just the bass is just sitting at the perfect level. It sounds really, really nicely integrated with the whole production, and it's not squashing anything. It just feels like the mix is really, 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 really nice. I think, John, you mentioned that. Was it you that mentioned that you were like going to apply to Artlist, or you already have? I mean, like, you're ready, man. You're ready. So, I mean, this kind of stuff would just clean up on Artlist, and I know you're on Motion Array already, but yeah, that's fantastic. John sent me some notes here. Let me share them with you guys. So he said, not quite finished, but didn't want to miss the first challenge of the year. This track feels like a good start to the year as it featured my girlfriend's recording debut. Finally convinced her. I'm keen to get vocals and vocal elements in all tracks this year. Yeah, I'm feeling you on that, 100%. I think it really helps to have a little bit of vocal in the track. It doesn't have to be like a vocal-centric track, but, you know, just having those like vocal elements, even if it's kind of like ear candy, I think it's really, really, it helps. It does a lot. Feels like that's the way things are broadly heading. Yeah, cool. So we'll get this one sent out to Motion Array once I've made some tweaks. I'm very much a VST and splice. It's very much a VST and splice track. To be honest, I'm not convinced by it, but really happy. My partner likes it. She already is asking when the next studio session will be. I got to convince my wife to sing on my tracks too. She might be a little too shy for that. Dude, yeah, fantastic work. Just killer. I bought a sub for my studio, helped with the bass mixing. Yeah, that's cool to know. I don't know if I can get away with a sub in my apartment. I'm not sure if I would get a complaint from whoever's below me. I'm on the top floor here, so I wouldn't get a complaint from whoever's above, because there is no one. But I'm not sure if. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot though. I got carpets in here. Maybe that would absorb it a bit. Okay. Right on. Let's keep it moving. Paul Marsh is up next. This track is called The Job. Here we go. Yes. Killer. Nice work, Paul. Paul mentioned it was just meant to be a percussion only initially, but it sounded a bit lifeless on its own, so I added some guitars. I love the guitar riffs. Started with the guitar template from your riff rock course and ended up tweaking it a bit by using the AHM 5050 amp plugin a bit more. The good thing about adding guitar later was that I now have 2 tracks that I can license instead of 1. It also gave me a ready-made structure to jam over. That's cool. Right on. Paul mentioned that for 2023, I plan to get more seriously into sync licensing with trailer music and to branch out into other trailer music styles such as this stomp clap swagger style. Now we've featured Paul's music a few times on these live streams live streams before, and if you guys remembered, like Paul writes some pretty epic trailer music, so it's really cool to hear you branching out into like other genres. And I know that you do a lot of like genre mixing as well. Like I've listened to some of your like hip hop trailer stuff too, and I think you were like last time we were communicating with each other, I think you mentioned that you were working on a motion array application, and I'm not sure what the status of that is. I know it takes a while to get them to take a look at that, but hopefully that is successful for you. And man, yeah, I mean, some of the work that you've sent over has just been absolutely fantastic to hear over the last year. Yeah, really glad you shared this track with me. Looking forward to hearing your progress throughout this year as well. Oh, and for reference here, the percussion libraries used: Cerberus, Hans Zimmer percussion, Damage 2 and 1, Strike Force, Red Room audio stomp claps and snaps, which are free, by the way, Devastator Warzone, Epic Claps, Metropolis Arc 1, Percussive Hits, Action Strikes. Cool. Yeah. Awesome, man. Okay, next up, we got John Chapman. This is a very cool track. Check this one out. It's called Chill Pop. I don't know if that's the actual. I don't know if there's a different title. I think that's what the file name said, but I think John's in the stream, right? Let me know if there's a proper title for this one, John. But yeah, here we go. super chill, vibey, laid back, but also just like, man, yeah, a great mix, man. I mean, John sent me this initially for feedback through the Academy, and I gave him just a few simple mix notes, and so this is a revision that he's sending back, and it just sounds great. It sounds really, really good. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I think would be a great fit for Artlist Motion Array. Yeah, it's got licensable vibes, man. Really, really nice. So yeah, this was a bit of a last minute submission. John didn't send me too many notes about it, but yeah, I mean, what can I say? Like all the synth work and the sample chopping is great. It's very, very tasteful. I really enjoyed it. So thanks for sharing, John. And yeah, feel free to throw any notes about inspiration or tools that you used in the comments below. And maybe the other members can help you with a title. Okay, next up we have Alexandra. So let me just find my notes here. This is for Alexandra's artist name, which is called Breshko. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Featuring Omunk. And the track is called Where Do I Go? Okay, here we go. Let's check it out. Nice. So vibey. Fantastic, Alexandra. I was just thinking, I think, Alexandra, you've submitted to every single challenge that we did last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's been so cool to hear all of the different stuff that you've worked on throughout the last year. And I mean this, I really do mean this. I think that this is your strongest mix yet. I mean, it sounds really, really nicely balanced. And yeah, it's just beautiful. The breakdown section here, awesome. Just total vibes the whole way through. Sounds beautiful. Just catching up on the comments here. Welcome, Gus. Thanks for joining. And Mariano says an entire stock library could be started with the material of today's live. We should do it. We should start our own stock library. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a good idea. Correct. Participated in every challenge. Good for you. I mean, that's just awesome. Yeah, I love big participation marks. Always great to feature your music. So you sent some notes here. Let me share them with the audience. Main goal for this year, to get accepted by Motion Array. Last year's achievement, got signed with my first sync library. joined one new sync library and got my music approved by Audio Jungle and Pond 5. 69 tracks completed. Awesome. Very productive year. So Alexandra said, this track defines me personally for 2023 as one of my main goals for this year is to release more music and get it promoted on some big YouTube channels / Spotify playlists. Not sure if it works with this one, but I will try throughout the year. November Academy Challenge just reminded me of how much I am missing making house music. So I decided to make some deep house remix of the track that I produced last year. I'm also going to have a separate artist name for house music releases, but I haven't come up with that name yet. So I'm using Alexandra Pandia Remix as of now. Would appreciate any feedback. Yeah, I mean, it's just awesome. I don't know what to say. It was just great. I love that. I love that you're getting into the house vibes, and I think it's important to just do what you enjoy doing. Not all of the genres that I tackle and all the styles are like the most enjoyable for me, and even though I try to challenge myself as much as I can. Sometimes I like finish a track and I'm just like, that wasn't fun. That was like, it was like, I'm glad I got through it, but it wasn't fun to make it. And I got to go back to the types of stuff that I just have fun making. It's really, really important to do that to keep your head on straight. You know what I mean? Because I think that not doing that, it leads to burnout and it leads to just feeling in general sort of just like frustrated. And so yeah, really important to sort of like just get back to what it is you love, even if it's not licensable, or even if it doesn't work for like libraries or whatever. Just do the things that you love once in a while. So yeah, thanks so much for sharing, Alexandra. It's great stuff. Okay, next up we have Arco. Big shout out to Arco. I know he's in the stream right now, and we've been messaging back and forth a little bit, and Arco has been working hard on just getting acquainted with like melodic structure and like motifs and stuff like that. So I'm excited to show you guys this track by him. It's called Waterfall. Let's check it out. Arco, beautiful track, man. Don't you dare be hard on yourself. There is no such thing as better or worse here, man. We're all on our own separate journey here, and some of us are new to this. Some of us have been doing it for years, and the point is, just to share your progress. And to get feedback, from other members, from other folks, and I'm so glad that you sent me this track. It's beautiful. You should be proud of it. And like Benjamin said, relaxing and beautiful. Definitely don't downplay yourself. I 100% agree. like I said, there's no better or worse here. And that the beautiful thing is that you were willing to share it with the community, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, nice work. What did you use for the guitar? I'd be curious to know. Was it a VST and like the strings? You didn't. This was a last minute submission, so I didn't get too many notes from you on on VSTs used. But feel free to share that in the comments. I'm sure everyone would love to know. I think Arco is the youngest member that we have. I know there's quite a broad age range in the academy, but yeah, I think Arco's like 18. Are you 18 now? Or I can't remember if you told me that. But dude, you should have seen me when I was your age. That'd be also embarrassing for me to show you a picture. I don't think I was like. Oh, you're 22. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I mean, this is great, man. You're doing awesome. I know that you're working towards like going to school. I think you mentioned you were going to school somewhere in Europe, or working on an application. So yeah, keep us posted, man, on your progress, and we're wishing you the best. Next up is Last Day of Summer from James. Let's hear it. Nice, short and sweet. Almost too short, James. I feel like that could be longer. I think that's the shortest track we got in all of the submissions today. But yeah, it was a great mix. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, James sent me some notes here. This is a complete remake of a track I wrote 5 years ago when first started out in stock music. That's cool. I wasn't entirely happy with the final result back then, so decided to use all the skills that I've learned to improve upon the original idea. That's a really cool idea. I should actually dig up some of my old stuff too. James used Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day as a reference point. VSTs used Easy Keys, Easy Drummer, Easy Bass, Session Acoustic 1 and 2, Session Electric, Deluxe, Sunburst. Man, you're making great use of those VST guitars, man. That sounds awesome. Using Ozone 9 for mastering, Slate Digital FGX. I just got my hands on the Slate stuff. I've just started to dig into it. I'm excited. There's a lot there to go through. But you know, Slate, it's a pretty damn good deal for what you get. For what you're paying, you're getting a lot, I think. James, always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to share your work. And yeah, thank you for sending that over. Okay, we got two more, or yeah, one more member, and then I'll show you my latest track that I'm working on. Benjamin, you're up. This is called You Can Do It. Here we go. Dude, top notch mix, man. Really, really, really nice. Yeah, like lo-fi vibes. This is the kind of track that I really want to just do more of this year, and it's actually very kind of similar to the track that I'm about to show you guys. I feel like of all the different genres and the styles that I tackle, just like relaxing, like smooth, laid back, like lo-fi tunes is that's like my favorite stuff to write. It just, I don't know, it's just nice. And Benjamin, yeah, that was fantastic. That was a super last minute submission from Benjamin, so I'm not sure I got too much information from him. I think he sent it over this morning, but I'm really glad you did. And yeah, that's a fantastic way to cap off all of the submissions. I really hope I didn't miss anyone. If you're in the stream and I just so happen to miss your submission, please let me know. I would hate to miss anyone. Yeah. Oh yeah, Benjamin says inspired by lo-fi songs definitely, and is an encouragement to myself for this next year. Awesome, man. Okay, well here's a track that I wrote. This is my latest offering for Artlist, Motion Array, whatever, Spotify. It's called Amur. It goes like this. There it is. Amur. You guys are very sweet. Thank you for the nice comments. Appreciate that, guys. I could identify Steven's track just from the waveform. That's funny. Oh man, Mariano said something earlier in the chat here about just doing these live streams for therapy. This is therapy for me too, man. Just getting together, and inspiring each other, man. Like this is what it's all about for me. You guys inspire the heck out of me. Honestly, what an incredible diversity of music on this challenge. I'm just like blown away. I think I got to go take a nap. It's just amazing. You guys are killing it. What do we got? 23 submissions, 24 maybe. 24, yeah. Wow. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Great work. Artlist should come to you for your music. Well, they do. They hit me up every now and then. Curious to know about the bass. Is that a DI? Yep. Yeah, it's always a... I pretty much always just do direct in to my Apollo Duo. And yeah, bass is always pretty simple. Just a direct in and a little compressor on the track, and that's about it. I would normally show you guys the whole session, but long story short, I had to import the file into this computer just because I'm not totally set up in my new studio just yet. Yeah, heck yeah, it's been loads of fun today. Absolutely. Whew, yeah, 2 hours. Good God. That's the longest one I've ever done. It's been fun, man. This is awesome. Yeah. Anything else I got to say? Probably not much. Gareth, the Stevie is the master of children. Thank you, man. You guys are very sweet. You guys are just, yeah. I'm gonna go take a nap. I think this was a very chaotic morning. I think the plumber is still in the house trying to fix stuff. I got a lot of work to do to this spot before the day's over, and yeah, I don't know. Did I write any other notes? Anything important to share? Oh yeah, there's some things I was going to mention at the beginning of the stream, but I got a little frazzled there from our technical meltdown. Academy Spotify playlist. This is something that I've been meaning to make like a kind of an official post about in the Academy. I do have a playlist going on for the Academy members. If you guys want to send over any Spotify tracks that you have to me over email, I will gladly, just send me the Spotify link. I will gladly throw it up on the Academy playlist. And as the year goes by here, I'm going to be pumping that out more. Shouting it out on the YouTube channel for sure. But I'm all about promoting you guys and your music, and send me your links, please. Speaking of Spotify, I think I hit 8,000 monthly listeners today. I checked, and I was like, where are these people even coming from? I put out a couple of tracks through Originals on Artlist just recently that I like. I wouldn't say that like I was disappointed in, but like it's not the kind of music I really enjoyed writing that much. It's sort of like, you can go check it out if you want. It's called it's a 3-track EP called Mojave Sojourn, and it's kind of like really high tempo, fast paced folk, like like indie folk, and it was so hard to write it, man. It took me forever. But that was the brief that I got, and maybe I'll change the one sec. Change my view here. There we go. I'm back. So that was a tough one, but ever since it went out live on Artlist, the Spotify monthly listeners really shot up. So I'm stoked to see that, and I'm going to be putting more content out there regarding Spotify. That was something that I'd sort of planned to do last year more, but I realized what I really needed to focus on was like creating like a content calendar for Spotify releases. So my goal is to release music on Spotify every 2 weeks throughout the whole entire year, basically starting in February. So I have February planned out. And yeah, I'm working on March now, and that's the plan. I'm going to be whipping together some like promotional assets too. Like I've never paid for like an Instagram ad or anything like that for Spotify, but that's the plan for this year. I want to experiment. I want to mess around with that and see where it goes. Oh, Eric's here. What's going on? Yeah, you missed it. Where's your track, man? You want to send me something right now? I'll play it. I'll play it for the crowd. Just catching up with the comments here. 2 high quality stuff today. Congrats. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Eric has been doing some Zoom sessions. Clearly, he's been doing some consultations. Busy man. Yeah, Arco, please send me something whenever you release it. That'd be great. We are all sleeping on streaming. I am, definitely. I got to do more of these streams. Although I got to chop out the beginnings and endings where there's all these technical difficulties. And then I don't think anybody really wants to hear me blabbing on. Ben Jordan put out a video on the future of Spotify. You may want to check that out. Okay, I'll check that out for sure. It's 1:30 a.m. in India. Oh, Eric sent me something. You guys ready for this? I'm excited. One sec. Let me see if I don't see it yet, man. Did you send it to, which email did you send it to? We're gonna chill here until Eric sends me his track. Go, Eric. Heck yeah. Oh, I'm getting a weird error message in my YouTube studio here. Last minute. Indeed. Link? Where's the link? Where's the link? We need one more track here, man, to close this epic stream off. Any questions? I'm not good. See, Eric is really, really good at like stream of consciousness, just speaking, and I'm more of like a receiver. I'm not very good at like. I don't have the gift of gab like Eric does. Oh, got a link to my phone. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out. Now I gotta send this to my laptop. Come on. Did it work? Okay. Almost there. Almost there, folks. Okay, we got a track from Eric called Halftime Hustle. Cool. Any notes you want to share with us? Inspiration? Let me just download this real quick. This is part of my percussion album that has been accepted to a new library suite. Okay, let me just load it into Logic. Okay. Here we go. Halftime Hustle by Eric. Awesome. Oh man, you totally like surprised me with the horn line. I was hoping that like a little like tuba line would come in. That was great. That was really, really good. Totally took me down to New Orleans. Did I ever tell you I went to New Orleans once? I think it was like 10 years ago, and it was like the most inspiring, awesome trip I ever took in terms of like musical inspiration. It was great. So that totally took me back to my New Orleans trip. Whew, capping it off with some drumline. Nice work, man. I think you mentioned what you were using here somewhere. Sound Iron, was it? I lost it in the comments. Just reading back here. Gus asked, Steve and Eric, have you done any live streaming video with Daniel? I wish. Everyone go tell Daniel that we need him on the podcast. We've been trying. He's a busy dude. But man, we would love to have Daniel Carrizales on a podcast episode. That would be awesome. I'm a big fan of Daniel's. Carnival, yeah, totally. And the crowd goes crazy. Where'd you get the crowd noises? Can be very cool, but also scary in New Orleans. Yeah, totally. You got to kind of be careful where you go. I hope it's gotten better over time. When I went, it was a little scary. I was in New Orleans in 2012. Amazing place, people, food, and of course music. Yeah, totally. The food was so good. Food was amazing. I went for the New Orleans Jazz Festival. I can't remember the year, but it was only a couple of years. Like I saw Dr. John, who's like a New Orleans legend, and he passed away only like a few years after I saw him. So I was really, really lucky to catch him. That was great. Who else did I see? I saw Trombone Shorty. That was inspiring. Saw some gospel music. I got to go back. Arco thought you paid a crowd for the noise. You had to pay a lot of people, man. That was a big crowd. Okay, here we go. Sound Iron High School Marching Band. Cool, I have to check that one out. I've never heard of that. And tons of Logic. Oh, cool. The same plugin had the crowd. Okay, interesting. Carnival is almost here in Brazil. Yeah, when is Carnival? That's another one I got to hit up. Like musically, inspiration-wise, like Carnival would be like a dream trip. Okay. Well, that was fantastic. I'm going to just keep blabbing here, and it's going to be awkward, so I guess I'll shut this stream down. And once again, I will just say thank you guys so much for sending over these fantastic tracks. This is by far the longest stream I've ever done. I got to go eat breakfast now. I haven't eaten anything. Sorry that I wasn't able to give more like detailed feedback to those who submitted a challenge track. There was just a lot of music, and I wanted to be able to get through it in a reasonable amount of time. So appreciate the understanding. And yeah, I will announce the new challenge in the Academy either later today or well, probably tomorrow morning. And I think it's going to be a fun one. Although we are almost midway through this month, and yeah, this live stream was supposed to happen last week, but of course, huge disruption with moving into this new spot. That being said, I'm very happy it all happened. But yeah, next challenge, you're only going to have just a little over 2 weeks to complete it, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. So I'll announce that in the Academy. Yeah, either later today or tomorrow. Just catching up with these. Yeah, you guys did great. I'm really looking forward to hearing more music from y'all, and this is a great way to start off the year. I feel like my new year started today. This is like day one. So yeah, tons of inspiration. You guys are awesome. I'm going to say goodbye. Lots of love to all of you, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.